Hi everybody, it's Stephanie with Kate's Crafts, and I am back for a Flosstube video. If you're new, this is a channel about cross stitch and crafting, but today it'll just be all about cross stitch. And it's been a while since my last video, so if you're a returning viewer, thanks for coming back as well. Again, I go by Kate's Crafts also on Instagram. So if you and I are not already following each other, please look me up there and follow. I always love to follow other people on Instagram and see what you guys are creating. The last couple months have been totally a blur with work, and I haven't had a lot of stitchy time, which isn't so good, of course, for everyone around. But I'm really trying to get. It's not for lack of a stitchy bug. Let's put it that way. I have not lost my stitchy bug. I just am exhausted. And I'm trying to do better about actually getting sleep and not staying up stitching. So I'm hoping work will kind of come down here about mid-June based on some of the stuff I'm doing. So I'm hoping to hit the summer with some more stitching. I've got a couple trips planned, some for work, some for fun, and hoping I can get some stitching done during the travel as well. So here's hoping for more regular videos. I will say I have tried to film this video 3 times now. So hopefully this is the charm and I'm not interrupted. I don't have computer difficulties and everything just works. It's just one of those things. I'm beginning to believe this video might be somewhat cursed. So here's hoping it all works out well. It is Saturday morning. It is May 20th and the kids just went out for haircuts. I am drinking a protein shake today. No wine this early in the morning, of course. But I love coffee flavored cafe au lait protein. So that is my morning coffee today. I've got some stuff here in front of me. This is mostly going to be a Stitch North recap. I am not going to go through everything because some people have made great videos on what was in the swag bag and whatnot. So I just want to share my experience. And then I have a couple of the whips that I've worked on since our last video, not all of them. I'm also not going to show you all my haul because obviously we would be full feature length film here if that was the case, and no one wants to watch that. So what is Stitch North? I think hopefully most of you have heard of it. Stitch North is a retreat, in-person retreat hosted by Caroline and the Evertotes team. It is hosted in Brampton, Ontario, which is just outside of Toronto. This year she is the second year, I believe, and she had 2 weekends. So there was weekend 1 and weekend 2. I was at weekend 2, and it was a fantastic time. It was 2 weeks ago now. And luckily, that is not too far from my house. So it's about a 3.5, 4-hour drive over. And my friend Jennifer is also local. She lives about 30 minutes from me. And she was able to get in off the wait list. And we were able to drive over together, which was so much fun. And then I got to see, so Jennifer, and then I got to meet Eunice and see him in person from Black Needle Society meetups. And then I also I shared a room with Erin, Two Martini Stitcher, and it was great to see her again. And then 2 of our other Stitchies Zoom friends from our regular group, Karen from Stitches and Orts in the Desert, and Jackie from Mama Jack Makes. We're both there, and Jackie actually just started her own Flosstube channel called Mama Jack, so go check that out here on YouTube. And then I also got to meet Michelle Bendy in person. She doesn't join our Zooms all that often, but it was so great to chat with her in person, and it, meeting all those people in real life just was so good for my soul. I really needed that. And then I also met a ton of new faces. I met, and I won't remember everybody, and I also couldn't list everybody, but Deanna from Darling and Whimsy Designs was there, and she was a total riot. We had a lot of good laughs, and she's such a sweetheart. And I also met Jean Farish. She was there, and that was cool because there were several of us who had brought our Roxy projects, and she actually had the framed version of Roxy because she was teaching a class this past weekend at I think Hobby House Needleworks in New York. So she had that. That was really cool to see, and then just meeting the whole Evertotes team, and it was just all around a great experience. Everybody was so nice and inclusive and fun and just having a good time. And there was some gorgeous stitching going on, gorgeous stitching. So we just had the best time. And then we also had a lady named Jenny from New York who came and joined us at our table. She brought all kinds of chocolates and stuff from the UK, and she was celebrating her 50th birthday, and she was super fun as well. So it was great to meet, like I said, so many people. It's going to be the 2 middle weeks of April next year, and we've already signed up, and we're going back for weekend 1 next year. I cannot wait. It's going to be great. So if you have the opportunity to go to a stitch retreat in person, I've done a bunch of virtual ones and they're amazing, but in person just was even just a different level, I also did quite a bit of shopping. I didn't think I was going to buy that much, but I bought more than I thought I did. So one of the cool things, and again, I'm not going to show you everything, but one of the cool things that I bought was this bag. It is from I Can Sew Make That. And it is a scroll rod bag. I love this. I do think this is pretty sturdy. It's sewn well, but it's not like quite big enough to go around my wrist. Like I wish I could put like a hanging strap on it to make it almost like a crossbody type deal, or put it over my shoulder. But I think, or that this would be a little bit bigger so that like maybe I just have really big hands. I don't know. But it's got a snap, and then I was able to put my scroll rods, plus like I have my ends in here still. In here, and I had four scroll rod projects in here, including my Hade, which stuck out the top, but it still snapped and it worked just fine. So this was a great, and she does the bottom of some of her project bags, and then this is denim, so it's definitely going to be very sturdy as well. So I love that. So I wanted to call that out. And then, like I said, I'm gonna show you my stitching, and then just a couple other things and some plans today. So if I kind of go way back, I think the project I've made the most progress on since my last video is, well, most progress would be my finish, but my current whip, visit Hogsmeade. I think the last time you guys saw it was all up here. I've stitched a ton here, working my way down. And this is really good for travel stitching because I can take like 5 or 6 colors and I can just work my way down. It's easy to transport this 8x11 Q snap. And yeah, it's just, I like, this is by Country Magic Stitch, and I'm stitching this 2/1 on 18 count, just plain white Aida. So there's that one. And then another project I've worked on, I started since my last video, is called Friendly Blooms by October House Fiber Arts. My LNS Stitches and Things, which was in Fenton, Michigan, closed March 31st, and this is one of the shirts I picked up when I went up there. She had the pillow, and I just thought it was really pretty. I've decided to change the colors, and I am stitching this on a 28 count Vanilla Latte Opalescent from Even Weave from, sorry, I say 25 count. 25 count Lugana Opal from Brandy at BeStitchMe in Vanilla Latte. So I've converted it to, instead of the blue, I'm stitching it in purple and pink. And I put 23 in it, so I'm committed. I guess it's getting done this year. I'm very optimistic here. And the green, so there's 2 or 3 different greens in this. I bought a Threadworks variegated green, and I'm just using that. So this is all one green color. I don't know if you can see it. It's sunny out today, which is good, but I think you can see that variegation. But so yeah, so this is top to bottom. That is how tall it's going to be. And then I'm over to here. That little leaf is where I stopped. So it's not that big. Should we get it done? No problem, right? And I like the stitching over 1, so I'm doing 1 over 1 full cross, like I said, on the 25 count. And then I think you saw this as a new start. This was my New Year, New Start, and I'm happy to say I finished it at Stitch North. And this is a chart by AbbieSue Designs, and it is Jose from the Enchanted Tiki room at Disney. Look at him. I love it. And the back stitch, oh, the back stitch is amazing. It really popped when I got the back stitch on. I was not excited to do the back stitch, and then I started doing it, and it like kept me going. So, yep, there's Jose. Love him. So that was exciting for a retreat finish. And yes, there are 2 different shades of yellow on the background. It is like a tiki batik kind of ish pattern. It's very evident in the pattern. My 2 DMC, I just stitched it in the DMC that it's called for. The DMC is just not showing up as different on screen, I don't think. Or at least when I'm looking back at myself, it's hard to see. But yes, Michelle and Aaron, I did count that. And all the other 3 birds I have, and I'm going to get started. I haven't decided if I'm going to do Michael, Fritz, or Pierre next. So I think I was planning Michael. That's nice. And then one of the other charts I worked on at Stitch North is Spring Awakens by Summerhouse Stitchworks. And I didn't bring it over here, but when my LNS was closing, the reason why I got this chart, well, I got Winter Cometh first, and Winter Cometh at my LNS was stitched over 1 on 40 count gauze, and it is gorgeous. And it was on the wall, and I said, I want to do that. I want to stitch it that small. I want to do tiny stitching, and that's not even like super tiny, but 40 count over 1, it's pretty tiny. So I bought some gauze, and I bought the Winter Cometh chart, and then I hadn't started it. And last year it became first of spring, and my friend Jennifer and Aaron both were going to start. We all agreed, and we started Spring Awakens for like a spring new start last year. And Jennifer couldn't find her gauze, so we started it on 40 count fabric. So I still have my gauze. And then when my LNS was going out of business, she was selling the model, and the model was like $40. Framed, done, beautiful. So I bought it. And so I have that now in my stitchy room, and I think I'm going to do the autumn one on the gauze then. So anyway, that's what it looks like. And this is how far I am. This is stitched on a color and cotton. It's just like a slight like ballet pink, like a very, very light pink. And it is 40 count Verdal. And I am stitching 1 over 1 tent on with DMC, the called for DMC. So I just have the rest of this blue band, another brown band, and another blue band, and I'm done. So I'm over halfway. I finished this whole blue band at Stitch North. And that was cool because I got to meet Keely and Nati at their table with Keely doing all the tiny stitches. And she was so sweet. She gave me a little mini kit with some 56 count fabric and some silk in it. And I am very excited to pick out a little motif and stitch something on there. I was thinking I might even try, I know the silk she provided, because she was so generous. She just had these little spools, and she peeled off some and said, "Here you go, and you can try it." And it was amazing. Um, I was thinking I might try and stitch the Stitch North chart we got from, was it Maximum? Is it Maximum Cross Stitch Power Hour? I think. Is it Elizabeth Kin Stitch? I don't know. I'll be honest, I forget. It's all a blur in that swag bag. It was amazing. It's a great swag bag. But so yeah, so she came over and she was looking at my tiny stitching, and we were looking at her tiny stitching. I like tiny stitching. It's fun. Um, and then I had another start and finish. I did not finish this at the retreat, but I bought this at the retreat, so it kind of counts. And that is from the Canadian Stitchery. It was one of their ugly Christmas sweaters. I bought the penguin. So cute. So that is done. And I will tell you, so this is a kit, right? It comes with the floss pre-cut on like a card. I have a ton of floss left over. I stitched it, well, I stitched this background as 2/1, because I think this is the equivalent of 14 count. And I then ended up doing what did I do? I think I did, so then I did the white on the penguin as 4 strands, and I did everything else. I think the black and the white I did and the yellow I did as 4 strands, and the orange. But the green and the red I did as 2. The exception of the little cuffs I did as 4. I was going to go back and redo the earmuffs, but I didn't. You have plenty of floss to do that if that's what you want to do. She gives you enough. And I always play thread chicken. That is just me. And on the wood, because it's really hard to end your threads, you don't. I bent a needle trying to play thread chicken with this. And I guess it's not really thread chicken. It's just how I stitch. I just don't waste floss. Waste the floss when you stitch on wood. Just finish it early, be able to get your needle under there and pull it clean out and not have to fight it. I also probably pull my stitches too tight, and that's why needles weren't going through. But anyway, great kit, super cute. And then it has a pre-cut. The kit comes with like a pre-cut out sweater out of red felt, and then a piece of twine, red and white little baker's twine, to make it into an ornament. I just haven't done the back finishing yet, so that is stitching wise is done. And then I bought this kit at the Evertote booth, and it is called well, it's from Avley Folk Embroidery, which Krista West is the designer. I have been following her on Instagram for a while now. She has some gorgeous pieces right up my alley. I've just never tried one for whatever reason. And Evertotes, they had these pre-made kits just at their shop, and I was like, done. Put it in the cart. Don't tell me my total on anything, but it was super affordable. But I got this is the Lunaria Break kit or Bit kit. So this came kitted up with 26 count. It's like a ground cloth, and then the DMC that we got was enough for, well, so far it's enough for the kit. I was gonna stitch this over one, but because it is it is like linen-ish, there's slubs, and there were a couple slubs right in the middle of my fabric that really wouldn't have looked good for over one. So I ended up doing the 2/2. And it'll be fine. I just thought it'd be fun to stitch it really tiny. So this is how far I am. I have the center motif done. And you can see my needle minder is from FanGirlFibers from the Jungle Cruise kit. So it's an Nile Nelly. And yeah, but the chart is just on the back of this paper, so I'm not gonna flip it around. Super easy to read, easy to stitch from, and I can't wait. I'm gonna start the teal next. So, or turquoise, I guess is the technical color for DMC. So that was a fun kit. So that's it for my stitching. Oh, no, it's not. Forgot my scroll rods here. I'm like, I feel like I'm missing something. So I did not get a ton of stitching on my Hade, although at the retreat, which I took it, although I did take it, I didn't have a retreat piece like some people do. So I had some of my friends stitch some stitches on my Hade for me. And if you're new, my Hade is Floral Bird of Paradise, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. The actual artwork is by Joe Lynch. And it's a very big piece. It will be. Let's see if I can get the whole width. So you can see here's the end in the picture here. This is how far I am. Since you've seen it last, I've come across here more on the top, and I've come down here a little bit, and I wasn't going to torture my friends with stitching through 3865, which you guys all know how much I love, and so they helped me bring my black borders down. So there you go. This is supposed to be my focus piece for the year, and I'm just not making enough progress on it, so I really need to get going here. Right. And then I had one more piece, and this piece is funny because this was my New Year, New Start last year for 2022. And this started because of the GaRon Designer Focus was Mirabilia and Nora Corbett for January last year. So I downloaded this as a free chart. This is the most expensive free chart I ever stitched. So I am doing it with the Karen Water Lily Silk and the DMC and the beads. And I'm stitching this on 32 count vintage Tiffany linen. And this is Leilani, the Hula Dancer. And this is how far I am now. So the last time you guys saw it, I hadn't finished the skirt, and then I hadn't finished her hair. Her hair is done now. I just have a couple of these flowers have a little bit more, like 3 or 4 stitches of silk in them, and then all the X's are done, and then it's just beading. But I wanted to start beading at the retreat, so you can see I started adding some of the bugle beads at the bottom. Love it. Looks so gorgeous. And fun story on this, I met a lady named Cheryl who was sitting over at Jean Farish's table, and she and I were waiting in line together to get in to the venue on Friday morning, and turns out that she was also starting this piece at Stitch North. So we got a fun photo together with her new start, which she started in the center, so she had kind of like starting into this area, and then me with where I was at. So that was super fun. And it was nice to talk with Cheryl. She was super sweet. So that is all my stitching. One new start I'm planning was, so my friend Jackie and then Erin both stitched this piece. This is Stitching with Friends by Little Stitch Girl. And this was their retreat piece. So Jackie had us, a few of us fill in words on there for her. And she passed it to me with the other half of her fabric. And I'm not sure what this is. I'm trying to remember. I'm guessing it's one of the like vintage country mocha type things, but it's not because it's only printed on one side. And then oh, I hear people coming. I'm going to pause the video for a second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, kids came home. Noise ensued. It wasn't going to be good for anybody. So anyway, I was saying, Little Stitch Girl, I'm going to start this, and it's going to be my retreat piece for next year. I'm going to have, I'm going to pull from Stash, maybe with some of the Leo or Roxy Floss Co and Brin Nedle floss I picked up at Stitch North, and then I'm gonna finish this next year and have my friends finish it at Stitch North with me. So thank you, Jackie, for that, and I'm excited for that to be a new start. And then I've got some trips coming up for work, like I said, work and for vacation. So I'm hoping to get stitching done. But either way, I'm going to um, try and get back in the hang of posting more on social media as well as, on Instagram as well as videos. I feel like I need this for my sanity. So I'm gonna put it out there. Positive vibes. It's gonna happen. Uh, I also have a cruise planned coming up. So if you have cruised with cross stitch and you have any tips, I'm trying to decide what to bring. Like part of me is like I'm going to be out doing stuff, but then part of me wants to have time to sit and relax and stitch. So I'm not sure what I'm going to bring. The last thing I wanted to highlight though is something that it's a club that I belong to, and I have not seen that many posts about it. And it's super cute and super exciting. And it is with Emily at FanGirlFibers, her Disney Attractions Club. She has a couple different clubs that have monthly. I think there's like a spooky one, a Taylor Swift one, and a Disney attraction one. So within each of those clubs, there is floss, a needle minder, fabric, and then I think there's also yarn and knitting stuff, which I know nothing about, and I will not get into another hobby. But I belong to the silk and silk floss and needle minders. So each one is based on a Disney attraction. January was It's a Small World. February was Tron Light Cycle. March was Living with the Land. And April is Matterhorn Bobsled. So I have here's the needle minder. I love Matterhorn. And then she started putting the silk floss on these Mickeys. They're so adorable. So this is the Matterhorn colorway, which is gorgeous. And then this was the Living with the Land colorway, just so you guys can see them. But I feel like I haven't seen anybody unboxing them, and I know they're popular, and she is so sweet. And I love her needle minders. Her wood pieces are amazing, but the silk and the kits she does are so fun. So if you haven't, go check them out. FanGirlFibers. So that is it. I am not gonna drone on much longer. No, I'm gonna try and limit the Midwest goodbye here. But like I said, look forward to talking to you guys soon and seeing you over on Instagram. And again, thank you to the team at Evertotes and all those who helped put on Stitch North and the vendors and everybody. It was a great time. And to my Stitchy friends, like so glad to have met you. And if we met at Stitch North and I haven't started following you on Instagram, please reach out and follow me, and so I can follow you back. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Take care. See you later. Bye.